Alright, so once again, welcome back, my dear students. And today what we're going to talk about is feature writing, the things that you need to consider when you guys are going to write a feature story in a newspaper. Or if you're going to feature something on your TV reporting. So these are actually the guidelines that you need to consider when writing or creating a feature story. So as for a quick recap, I believe you guys are already aware of what are the differences, no, and the similarities between hard news and soft news. So hard news, as what we all know, standard fare of most newspapers. It pretty much discusses the things, the news, the current events that is actually happening on a society or in a society, while soft news is actually associated much with human interest only. All right, now as for the difference, no, hard news is actually objective and soft news is subjective, while hard news as well as direct and factual, while soft news is featurized. In the PowerPoint presentation that they actually sent to you guys, it's everything is actually discussed there. There are also examples of the hard news and soft news, so you might want to try to check on it for you to be able to have an advanced reading, no, when it comes to hard news and soft news. But today, hard news and feature story or feature writing is actually a little bit the same, no. But the thing is, hard news, as far as our previous discussion is concerned, hard news is actually written on an inverted pyramid format, while soft news is actually the details are written in chronological order or logical order or in narrative order. So that's actually one of the greatest difference between hard news and soft news. Now, as for the feature writing, it's pretty much the same. It's pretty much the same when writing or creating a new story or writing a new story, producing a new story. But the only thing that differs or differentiate the two is that news story, unlike news story, feature writing is actually written like a piece of short fiction. So it's not more into details, but you're featuring, you're adding flowering words and or your own opinion and your own thoughts in the subject that you're going to write. So again, a quick recap: news story. The feature story, no, it's pretty much the same with news story when writing a news story. However, news story is like a piece of, or you're writing it like a piece of short fiction. So you're adding your own flavor, your own taste of it, your own style to it. So in writing as well a feature story, you must combine the rigors of factual reporting with the creative freedom of short story writing. So because when it comes to feature writing, you're actually promoting something. You're making your audience believe. You're making your audience, or you're making your readers feel or understand, or what do you mean by this? You're giving your readers and your viewers to that avenue to understand and to acknowledge, no, the feature, no. So again, when writing a feature story, you must combine everything, no, the aspects and the things that you need to consider when writing a news or when producing a news story. You must combine it with the creative freedom of short story writing. So it's more of factual plus the art of short story writing. So it's more of a combination of factual things and also the entertainment side as well. So you're both informing your readers or your listeners or your viewers, but at the same time you are also entertaining them. So that's actually one of the essence of feature writing. Readers also would have to read the whole story to understand it. Unlike news story or news report, the readers, if the reader were able to get the 5 W's and the how, they can just easily stop reading the whole story, the news story. Whilst feature writing, in order for them to understand and to know more, no, about your subject, they need to complete. All right, they need to read the whole story for them to be able to understand what you are trying to feature. And we have the different functions. No? We have the different functions of feature writing or feature story. Number one is to humanize. Number two is to add color. Number three is to educate. Number 4 is to entertain. And number 5 is to illuminate. So basically, if you would check on these different functions, when we say humanize, you are giving them this sense of realness, no, to the subject that you are trying to feature. You're adding also color because again, we're talking about giving them that idea of what is the story, or what is the subject all about, what is your feature study, and also to educate. And again, since it's a combination of factual things, no, and also entertainment, of course, one function is to entertain others, to entertain your readers, and also to illuminate. When we say illuminate, is you're giving them that moment to shine. Okay, you're giving that moment to be recognized. No, that is why it illuminates your subject. And we also have here a lot of facts, no, about feature writing. Number 1, written to hook the reader and draw him or her into the story. So when you say hooking the reader, you're giving them that sense of engagement. No? You're letting your readers to be more engaged on the feature story that you are producing. It also may or may not be tied to a current event. So it doesn't necessarily mean, unlike news story, it has to be current events. No, most of the time it's current events. But when it comes to feature story or feature writing, it doesn't have to be that way. Even if your subject is about history, then you can talk about it. Okay, that's actually one of the essence of feature writing. Now another one is often longer than a traditional news story. So again, news story, you can make, or you can already produce a news story for about 3 paragraph or 10 sentences. That's already a news story. Whilst feature writing, since it's more of entertainment, factual, and narrative in style, or a short story, you know, quote unquote short story, then it is actually a little bit longer than a news story. Another one is may present an opinionated view. Why opinionated view? Because it's subjective. You're adding your own flavor into it to make your audience engage, no, more on the subject that you are actually featuring on your feature story. Now, feature story, it is also called as a feature article. No, it's pretty much the same, or simply a feature or a feature story, something like that. Because when we talk about feature writing, you are promoting something, be it a place, be it a person, be it an event, or something that interests you. So you can feature that. Anything that is unique, or something that is famous in your school or in your place, you can feature that. It is also a piece of journalistic writing that covers a selected in-depth issue. So when we say a piece of journalistic writing that covers a selected in-depth issue, because again, it involves research. In order for you to back up your subject or the story, the whole story that you are featuring on your article, no, you need to do research for it in order for you to sound or to look more believable. Okay, or credible, no? So you have to back up all your details that you're going to share, or that you're going to include in your feature story. Another one is it emphasizes on facts of human interest. So again, you always have to remember that one function of feature story is to entertain. So that is why you need to catch your audience interest, so human interest. So it emphasizes on facts of human interest, because if your topic or if your subject is not that too interesting, then there will be no your readers or your viewers or your listeners will not be will not get engaged, no, into your subject. Another one is its job is to find a fresh angle. Now, when we talk about fresh angle, again, just like what we had mentioned earlier, no, it doesn't. It's not actually tied up to current events. However, the more current it is, then the more fresh, no, the story is. So it's also one way of getting your readers' attention and your audience's engagement, no, if you're going to if the story that you're actually producing or writing is actually a fresh issue. Now another one is makes the reader think and care. So like for example, you are promoting your famous beach resort in Santa Fe, then you present the pros and the cons, no, you add there, you feature as well what makes it famous, what makes it different, not to the other resorts. So in that sense, it makes your reader think and care about it. Okay, this is the one that promoting. So yeah, I think we should take care of this and stuff. So again, feature story makes the reader think and care. Okay, so now we have the different types of features, no, of feature story or feature article. Number one, you can actually feature a personality profile. So when you say personality profiles, if there is a famous actor, a famous personality or prominent person that catches your interest, or your favorite actor and whatnot, you can feature them. So when we say personality profiles, it gives you the detailed article on a well-known personality. So in order for you to be more, or to sound more credible, no, if you're featuring a famous personality, no, or a famous person, then you do a background check on your subject. Another one, human interest stories. So what are the human interest stories? So number one, it's appeals to emotion, arouses sympathetic interest. So whatever it is that interests the whole society or the whole community, then you can feature that. Say for example, in this case, no, we have the COVID-19, so you can feature COVID-19, the viruses, no, the how did it spread to the whole world, the number of cases, and so on and so forth. So you can feature that because it arouses a sympathetic interest. Okay, this is what happened and something like that. Another one, trend stories. So you can feature as well the different types of food that are in, you know, that are actually trending online. Like now, the plantitas and the plantitos. No, they're, because of the pandemic, because of the community quarantines, only a number of people are just allowed to go out and to work. So they look for their own diversion, or people are looking for different diversion. So they're planting succulents and all. So you can feature that. No? And another one, analysis stories. Now, when we say analysis stories, you give or it digs deep into the facts and details of a story. So let's say, for example, the number one issue right now is about the Manila Bay artificial white sand. So if you wanna feature that, yes, make sure that you do a research or a backup or a background check on all the facts, no, that is related to that specific subject. Alright, so aside from these four common types of features, you also have different types of features. So we have the interview article. Say for example, you interviewed someone, you can also feature that. Another one is practical guidance. So it's, when we say practical guidance, you are featuring how to cook something, how to do this, how to repair that, how to, pretty much all the how-tos. You can also feature that. Another one is seasonal or holiday feature. Now, you're trying to feature the Christmas events, no, here in the Philippines, and most of the time, a lot of people are doing lechon. So why are they doing this? No, why are they doing this every Christmas? So it's something that is unique and different to others. So you can feature that. Another one is entertainment article. So it talks about the trends and the online and the fashion and so on and so forth. Yes, you can also feature that. Another one is travelogue. When we say travelogue, it features more on the travel. No? If you are that kind of person that travels most of the time, so you can travel, you can feature your trips. Another one is personality sketch. So it's more of a personality feature. No, you feature a famous person. And another one is interpretive feature. So you're interpreting something, and it's something that is interesting. Then you can feature that as well. So we have aside from the different types of features, we also have what we call the substance of the feature. The number one substance is you need to get all the facts. Okay, because again, feature story is a combination of news writing and the entertainment part. So you need to verify all the facts. Number two, you quotes. Make sure that whatever it is that that specific subject mentioned or said, you need to add that one as well. Another one is description. Now, when we say description, you describe it, because that's actually the very essence of writing a feature story. You describe it. You present, your subject to your readers. Anecdotes, you can also add that one. Anecdotes or famous saying and quotations, you can add that. Opinions, now when you say opinion, it could be the opinion of your subject or the opinion of the people towards your subject. and your own opinion as well, you can add that. Another one is your analysis. So again, we have the different types of feature stories. So another one example is analysis. So therefore, you are giving your own analysis to it. And the last one is payoff or conclusion. So again, for every story, be it a feature story, an editorial, a news story, a sports story, it has to have a conclusion. So you need to put a very colorful conclusion. Okay. So again, for the substance, we have 7 facts, quotes, description, anecdotes, opinion, analysis, and conclusion. Now, we also have here sample of feature topics which you guys can actually refer to. So number 1, we have the foreign exchange students. So some colleges and some universities, they do actually have exchange students from another country. So you can feature that. Number 2 is unusual hobbies. What are the unusual hobbies? No, it's something that is not very normal. No, we do not heard or see about it most of the time or every day. So you can feature that. Dirtiest jobs. So it's not something that most people are actually talking about. So you can feature that as well. Fashion trends is very common. Favorite movies, favorite celebrities, teacher features, tattoos. No, tattoos. Okay, and also bazaar foods. I don't know if you guys are watching documentary films on National Geographic, the bazaar foods and stuff, or destination flavor bazaar foods or bazaar foods. You can actually feature that because it's not something that we see and hear every day. So in order for you to inform and to entertain your readers or your listeners or your viewers, then you can feature that. So again, these are just sample of feature topics. So we have now the different structure, the feature story structure. So how we structuralize, how we form it. So basically, it has to start with the beginning. Of course, the lead. Start with a premise or a theme. So if you're featuring your favorite teacher, then you can add a simple statement, that somehow describes your favorite teacher and why. You consider that person your favorite teacher. Next is the middle. In the middle, that is actually the body or the story development. So under the middle or the body or the story development, it presents information and opinions that back your point. So it's here you present your ideas. Why did you choose that person or that teacher, or you consider that teacher your favorite teacher? So it's here, in the middle or in the body or the story development part, wherein you discuss everything, you present all your premises, and lastly, it ends with a conclusion. So bring the reader to a close. It's pretty much basic. That's it. You close it or you end it. So in writing a feature story, we have the lead. So basically, based on our previous discussion, when we say the lead, it's actually the most important part. So that's the factual side of the feature story. So the first paragraph, but may include the second or even the third paragraph. So it basically, we find the lead, the 5 W's and the 1 H question, or on either in the first paragraph, the second paragraph, the third, but ideally it should be on the first paragraph. Another one, entices your readers, hook them in. So you get the attention, You encourage your readers to not to stop reading and to be engaged with your feature story. Another one, it uses drama, emotion, quotations, questions, and or description or anything. It's like I've said earlier, it's a description type of story. You're describing something because you are presenting the idea to your readers, and basically it sets the tone. Okay, when we say it sets the tone, that vibe thing. When we say, for example, you're featuring the beach, so you are actually you're making your audience love it, The sense of excitement and that sense of engagement is there. That is why it actually sets the tone of the whole story. All right. Now, when we talk about the lead as well, so basically lead, since it's located, it's actually there on the first paragraph or the first part of your story. Of course, the words, the terminologies that you're going to use there is supposed to be the one that catches the attention of your reader. So you can ask a question or a statement, or make an unusual statement, or a famous line or a quotation. You describe a scene. You can also present a conversation if that is an interview feature story. or you can actually tell a brief story or a backstory of the life of the person, or the things that happen in a place that you are going to feature. You can also present a surprising or alarming statistic. Let's say, for example, 250 million are now positive for COVID-19 all over the world. So it's something that is alarming, no? So you can also add that. Refer to an event, either historical or current, because it basically gets the attention of your readers. Now you can also make use of a controversy or a contradiction or a conflict, no? As your attention getting devices, you can use a quotation, an adage, or a proverb, no? The famous ones. You can also state an unusual opinion, riddle, a dialogue, or an onomatopoeia. So let's say, I would say onomatopoeia, it's a figure of speech that talks about sounds, no? So you can add that because it could actually get the attention of your readers. All right, now on the PowerPoint, on the instructional material that I sent you guys, there is actually examples of the different types of leads that you should avoid when writing or when producing a feature story. So number one, trite dictionary lead according to Webster Dictionary. So it's not something that would catch the attention of your readers. Or dumb declarative lead. It's official. What is official? It would not really get the attention of your readers. The mystery, or the what we call it lead, because we have the why lead, the who lead, the when lead, the where lead, and the it lead. So you avoid that. Example: it's round, it's red, it's juicy. Yes, it's a tomato. Can you get the attention of your readers by using that one? No, it won't. Another one is weird linkage or atypical lead. So when you say you link something, you link someone into something that has no connection. Like for example, what did Boris Karloff, Jane Fonda, or Jordan Sinabi common rings around the collar? Who cares? Diba? So again, these are the things that you need to avoid. Now there's a lot of examples, no, on the different types of leads. When writing a feature story, just check your PowerPoint presentation for that. So aside from the weird linkage or a typical lead, you should also avoid the uninformative question lead. Like, avoid asking questions that might provoke your readers to respond. Who cares? Okay, you should avoid that. Don't include it in your feature story. Okay, so for this one, yeah, no need to do the activity anymore, okay, because I have a different activity for you guys to do. All right, now we're done with the lead. Now we're going to talk about the body. So we have three structure of feature story. First, we have the lead. Next, we have the body, and the end, and lastly is the end. So talk about the body. So the body, it's actually the guts, no? Again, it's like what I mentioned earlier. It's where you back up all your facts, all your argument. You back it up there on the body. You present, all the information, all the facts. You're presenting it here on the body, or what we call the guts of the story. So basically, the body is the longest part, so you need to vary the place and keep it fresh by using quotes and anecdotes, description and details, specific examples. So again, you're making this more colorful, You're adding your own flavor into it, your own twist, your own style. Again, it's a free form, a narrative form, That's why you need to use a lot of vocabulary words here, flowery words here to make your audience engage, to the feature story. Next. The important components of the body, we have the background information again. It's like what I mentioned earlier, you present here the backstory of whatever it is that you're trying to feature. Next, the thread of the story. Now when you say thread, it's the connection, It connects the body, it connects the introduction, it connects the end as well. And also you present the dialogue. It gives strong mental images, keeps them attached. And finally, the voice. The signature or personal style of the writer. So that's the four important components of the body. Number one, background information, the thread of the story or the connection, the dialogue, and the voice. Remember that feature story, or one of the functions of feature story is it sets the tone of the whole story. Okay, so after the body, of course, we have the conclusion. Now, and in the conclusion, while the lead draws the reader in, the conclusion should be written to help the reader remember the story. So again, it has to be something that your reader could eventually or easily remember, no? You're making this last impact to your readers, not to forget whatever feature it is that you're writing. So it also wrap up the story and come back to the lead, often with a quotation or surprising climax. So it basically depends on you. Unlike hard news stories, features need endings. So news, after you cover up all all the leads, no, the 5 W's questions, that's pretty much it. Whilst the feature story, it needs to have an ending. Again, it has to be striking so that your readers could easily remember it. Okay. So the end can be it can be a comment. No, you comment on something. It could also be a concluding quote, a question, or a summary of the article. It really depends on the actual writer, whatever it is, no, whatever style he wanted to use. So we have the different steps. All right, so we have the different steps, no, to develop a feature story. Number 1 is pre-writing. When you say pre-writing, it's pretty much it before you write. The writing part, the revising, and the proofreading. Now, pre-writing is basically it's when you gather, no, all the information, all the data that you need to back up the whole story. So in pre-writing, we have 4 steps. Okay, so step 1 is finding the story. Step 2 is gathering the information. Step 3 is determining the type of feature. And step 4, choosing the single focus. Okay, remember when you're trying to feature, it has to focus. The focus should only be on the actual subject. If it's a person, if it's a place, if it's about your trip, your travel, it should only revolve around those things. Okay, and in writing, we have 5 steps, no? And the writing part, number 1 is determining the organization, drafting the lead, drafting the body, drafting the conclusion, and preparing the headline. Again, it has to be catchy, remember. Okay. On the revising, no, there's actually a lot of steps. So basically, checking for good writing techniques. So these are the questions that you might want to consider answering, no, when writing a feature, no, a feature story, especially if you are on the revising part. Does the article reflect careful, complete research? Do I attract my reader's attention in the opening paragraph? Does the article maintain interest throughout? Do I follow a logical organization to achieve my purpose? Have I maintained unity? Again, it has to be united. Have I varied sentence structure in keeping with the tone and the purpose? Are transitions sufficient to guarantee smooth reading? Does the word choice show freshness and originality? Have I eliminated wordiness? Again, it's a big no-no. In journalistic writing, no, you shouldn't be that kind of writer, no, or that editor that is wordy. More words, more mistakes, no, always remember that. So the lesser the words, the lesser the mistakes. Okay, do I use a good story writing technique? So these are the things, these are the questions that you can answer after writing it in the revising part. And finally, we have the proofreading. Now, when I say proofreading, you check on the grammar, the spelling, the spacing, the quotations, pretty much all of that. This is what you do on proofreading part. So after revising, you proofread it. Make sure that the indentation, the spelling, the quotations, and everything are all correct. And that actually ends our discussion for feature writing. As for the activity, I am going to just post it here. No, the deadline for that is also on Monday. Same thing goes with your activity on news story. All right. So the deadline of that is on Monday, 11:59 p.m. So again, that's pretty much it. Thank you all very much, and be safe, and you do have a good night. Bye.